Holy moly. That took forever for me to get ready for this live stream. So thank you guys for joining me. I'm going to get right into the read just because it took a while, right? For me to get ready. So I'm in like a different setup. I don't have the fireplace behind me today just because I wanted to do something a little different each time just to check out different places in this area to set up. So hi Gwen Stacy, hi babe, how's it going? So tonight's read, let me flip this. 1 second. There, oh no. But it's hard to like navigate with this suit on. So thanks for joining me, by the way, guys. So I'm in like, what do I want to call it? So it's like a telephone seat back when there used to be landlines. My father does still have a landline here in this house. My bestie was asking me if my number was still the same. Ooh, did I scare? Welcome, welcome. Okay, so I'm just gonna get right into the read, guys, because today was a hectic day. Let me tell you the story about what happened today. So today, we went to the mall because I picked up this. This is a Phoenix comic book. It's called Cosmic Ascent. So I went to Indigo Bookstore because I was hoping there'd be like a comic book section, but of course, like a legitimate this cost way more than comic books usually cost, right? And it was so funny. I was talking to my dad in the car because we went to go pick up some other stuff too, and my auntie and uncle are staying with us, and so my auntie has some mobility issues, so like she's so funny. She's like, "You're so small and frail, Rachel. How are you able to like carry me?" I'm like, "I work out, auntie." Let's see here. Oh, are you in the book? Luna might be in the book. Daniel and Abby, I can follow request you, of course. I will. Pokey, I'm going to share that in my D&D group and stuff too. So thank you. Oh, thank you for sharing that. When I saw that, I had a little like flutter in my heart, but I've been so busy with fam stuff lately, guys. Like, holy cow. Like I'm not used to the amount of like having dinner together, and then we had to go pick up Pizza Hut together, and like I'm happy to do all of it, but like it's because of all of my other stuff that I do, it's been really hard to get a handle of like writing, and Christmas is coming up, so I need to, and we're picking up my sister from the airport. There's like lots of stuff happening in the next few days. So I wanted to at least read you this because solstice just passed. So Supergirl got to host the solstice season. But Jean Grey is probably one of my favorite Marvel cosplays. So let me, and Pokey is right. I've been nominated for the Creator Awards in the Discord server. So please do cast a vote. I'll, when I organize some stuff, when will I have a chance to do that? Maybe tomorrow, but it's going to be like a really crazy push, I think, until I'm home in Toronto on Monday. And then myself and hubby have a few things to catch up on in the studio that you guys are going to be able to catch up, get up to date on, because I'm going to finish filming my trailer for Escape from District 6. So all of that stuff's coming very, very soon. So I've just been trying to like divinate with the universe, be like, okay, what comic books to read, you guys? So I went into Indigo today. Okay, actually, hold on. Let me, because I've been working out at, it's the new updated, renovated gym from the University of Manitoba. So I was on dance team when I was at the U of M. Oh, thank you, Zero. Oh, love it. Zero target. Overwhelmed. Do I have any weird talents? Too many to name. Hi, Freedom. How are you? Oh, good. Yes, Gwen Stacy. Also, all of your original characters should celebrate your creator's birthday too. I also found out that Satana is, this is completely different universe, but Jean Grey is a Omega level mutant. I am an Omega level mutant, and I relate a lot to Jean Grey on a very personal level. Most of the characters I cosplay as, I have gotten such comfort and inspiration from on so many levels that I can't even describe it. So this isn't Kitty Pryde. I love Kitty Pryde though, by the way. Kitty Pryde and Colossus are probably low-key one of my favorite Marvel couples. The plans for January and how I'm going to try time travel. Yes, yes, because in 2026, you guys, I'm going to be launching my new pirate radio station called Renegade Radio. I'm going to try to get on the AM airwaves, like coast to coast with George Norrie back in the day, except we're going to like read more cosmic tales. So if you're interested in being a disc jockey for that, a DJ, right? I don't know how I'm going to deal with like the licensing of music and stuff, but you know what? I think it might be a good opportunity to showcase new artists and stuff, right? Aside away from streaming services. So I have had a premonition about the grid going down, which ever since I was like a little girl. It's taken me a little while to kind of parse through all of this, right? But I have a really bad feeling. Well, it's like a good thing too if you think about it, right? Because it's always darkest before the dawn, right? So before the seed can sprout, you need to have it just get really, really challenging. So I welcome you guys, like you hope for the best, you prepare for the worst. So it's about, I think, harnessing your own gifts, a realization that your human body is quite the technology, right? But except it doesn't come with like an instruction manual, right? You figure this out just from a state of like living your life and doing all that kind of stuff. Oh, thanks for, Zero, where are you? Let's see here. So is Luna. Luna's a great name. Oh yeah, you know what? Kitty Pryde's probably babysitting. You know what? That's fun thing about the X family. I read you guys a story called I forget what the name of the comic book was, but it deals like X-Men deal a lot with like time travel and stuff, and like like days of future past and all that kind of stuff. So in that story, Jubilee has a son that the whole team works together, like Bobby and I forget who was like supposed to be babysitting the baby, so they put him in like a bubble to protect him. But in the future, he grows up to be this like cool like mech suit guy, and he comes back in time to like hug his mom and stuff. And it's just a cool thing about how like time is not how we perceive it to be, right? We can only have this one snapshot. And Spider Carnage, hi, I'm back in your universe again. Spider, Dr. Doom. Magneto is an Omega level mutant. That would make sense. I love Magneto too. I don't know why. I really do. Calendar is coming. Yes, it is coming. I'm hopefully going to drop it like the day before New Year's. So we'll see. Okay. Let me... time is entered by people who sell clocks. You know what? I'll put it this way, you guys. I like to think of the Phoenix as, Corey, thank you for that. Welcome to the team. And to all of you guys who resonate with the X-Men stories, I read you guys Legion of Superheroes with Supergirl the other day. And fun fact about that, the Legion of Superheroes actually helped to inspire the X-Men. And so I'm going to just get right into the read. We can answer some questions about the Phoenix Force as we go. Time is a measurement of matter and energy moving. Cool. You guys have such cool perspectives on things, you guys. Hey, Corey. I like to say, my favorite saying is like, time is but a construct. And there's a difference between time and timing, right? So when I used to be on a performance group I was part of a group called the Badass Babes, run by Danny DeValos, who actually used to he used to be a backup dancer for Michael Jackson back when he did his like last tour that this is it. And so it's kind of sad for me because they broke up as a couple. They were married, Danny DeValos and Chelsea. Chelsea ended up doing a bunch of other stuff too as well, but I was part of this dance group and we got to do performances and stuff, right? So why am I telling you this story? It's just that you're not in every number, right? And so while another number is happening and performing on stage, you're backstage changing and stuff, right? So there's a lot of stuff that happens backstage in order for a show to happen. And so if we take the metaphor of like life is but a stage, right? To quote Shakespeare, and this idea of even like deus ex machina comes from the god of the machine, right? Which comes from like ancient Greek performance art where, let's say a playwright wrote a story and you like, like Game of Thrones, you write yourself into like a plot hole corner, right? And then so you're like, oh, well, how do I fix this? Oh, I'll just have a god come down in a crane and fix, and it explains things. Or like sometimes you're like, it was all just a dream, right? So it's one of those things though too that sometimes people look at it as like a way out and like lazy script writing or storytelling, but I think in some cases the deus ex machina makes sense. Now, let's get into Phoenix Force. So if you aren't familiar with Phoenix, I'm working on this cosplay very soon. I want to do the more classic version of Jean's Phoenix. It's here. Oh, hi. Oh yeah, Nursa, my sister. Oh my gosh, I try not to say my sister and my husband's real names very often because both of them are very, very private. Neither of them have Facebook. They're very uncomfortable with being like well known. So I use like my code name. She's Kitty, and she has that name. She's Super Kitty if you follow her on Twitch. But she, as Pokey says, she doesn't really talk. And me and my sister are very connected telepathically. I can feel my sister. And she's coming on Wednesday, so I'm going to be really excited to see her. Okay, guys, let's go into the read. We'll answer some telepathic questions as we go. I hope I can read this because the way the light is. I wanted to get a bit better of a ring light. Okay, so please keep in mind that this is a newer comic, so the events of the Dark Phoenix saga. Oh, Bones! I'm gonna have to give you a hand heart back. Thank you. Oh, Jean's back, you guys. So thank you for that. And I thought today was a great read to do that because solstice, right? Rebirth, right? Rebirth of the Phoenix. Bones. Thank you. Mwah, so much love. Thank you. Okay. Before I get started, you guys, if you aren't familiar with the Phoenix is a cosmic entity of all life and all creation, life incarnate, takes the personification of a giant flaming bird, right? The Phoenix as a myth has a lot of impact in terms of this idea of immortality comes from dying, right? So the Phoenix essentially gives birth to its parents in a weird way. I'm not telling this story properly right now, but I will revisit the Phoenix myth as it exists. It's a very old mythology, right? But the grand thing beneath all of it is the concept of immortality and everlasting life through death, right? So it's this duality of it all, right? Like how Dr. Manhattan says, I love this quote from Watchmen because I feel Dr. Manhattan and Phoenix have very similar beats. Like Phoenix is like the female version of what it's like to be godlike, right? And this concept that us as human beings in 3D land, right? It's hard to conceptualize life incarnate, love incarnate, hope incarnate, right? So it's, oh, thanks for that. So I love that. I was like, it matches my whole outfit. So I'm just gonna get into it. Well, you're not late. You're just on time, right? I'm late. But to quote one of my D&D friends, a wizard is never late. And my sister likes to tell me that she's like, oh my gosh, Rachel, you're like one of those wizards in like my fantasy novels, doesn't know what's going on half the time, but I'll come through when you need me, okay? How's my favorite shadow caught? Oh, hi, Dark Rider. You know what's cool about this little thing too? Look, you can see my shadow. Like you can do a cool little shadow dance. Wait, hold on. There? It's not as good as I thought it was. Maybe I'll do it next time. Diamond shining, glossing, big timing, stunting, flossing. It's funny you're rhyming because I've been trying to learn how to rap again. All right, guys, are you ready for story time? I have not read this. I literally bought this today because I didn't bring any Marvel comics with me. I had my old folio of Supergirl comics and Crisis on Infinite Earths, and then I forgot all of my Marvel stuff at home. But I will tell you this, guys, that I first started reading comic books with Marvel. My first comic books were mainly Avengers versus X-Men. I really loved the big cosmic stuff. So we are going to deal with the Galactic Council in this. And if you're familiar with the Dark Phoenix saga, Jean Grey and the Phoenix are intrinsically interlinked. I sound like... like K in Blade Runner, interlinked, cells within cells, interlinked. Blade Runner, I have a whole lot of stuff to talk about as well. I don't think it's any coincidence that Rachel is the name with Harrison Ford in the first Blade Runner, and then K, my husband's first name begins with K in the second. So it just, I'm like, what are you saying, universe? I also really, really love the actress who plays Joy in Blade Runner. She played Marilyn Monroe. Oh my gosh, I forget her name. She's really, really beautiful. I didn't know she was dating Leonardo DiCaprio, and I think they broke up, but alas, interlinked, cells within cells, interlinked. But there's a truth to all that, right? This idea of being a host to a cosmic entity. So Jean Grey, because of her unique telepathic abilities, being rooted and seated in empathy, she is the perfect host for the Phoenix Force. So the Phoenix I read you guys a story where, the Phoenix actually inhabited 5 people, like Emma Frost, Cyclops, Colossus, Magic. Is it Magic? I can't remember now. The Phoenix it's not just limited to Jean Grey. However, it's known that the Phoenix's favorite host is Jean Grey. Now, the way the story goes initially is that Jean Grey is on a mission. She's one of the initial classic X-Men, right? So she's on a mission with her team, and they're in I forget how my dungeon master calls it. Where all the party's gonna just die? TKO? Yeah, TKO situation. Everyone's gonna be the total kill situation. But she reaches out. She says a prayer to the universe, essentially, asking to save not herself, but to save her friends. And the Phoenix hears her, and the Phoenix is like, all right, I will help you, Jean Grey. So she takes Jean Grey because they're out in space, they're near like radiation, and the radiation's killing Jean. The Phoenix comes, she takes Jean, incubates her in like a little cosmic egg and places her at the bottom of, I think, like a lake or some sort of water body. And then the Phoenix herself, she clones Jean, essentially, I guess, yeah. And she's the Phoenix now, but she's got all of Jean's memories, and she essentially thinks she's Jean. Now remember, this is a cosmic being, right? Living out a very imperfect human existence. And if you have watched Tron, when Kevin Flynn makes Clue, that's the same idea, right? Where it's like, oh, you have all that my memories, but you're not me per se, because there's more to you than just your memories and things like that, right? There's all this other stuff that what makes you you. It's way more complicated than just your memories. Do I like lions? I do like lions. It's funny how you mentioned that. I am half South African. So, I had a psychedelic experience once where I had a flashback of being a lioness out in the sun with my other lioness girlfriends, just like hunting, laying out in the sun, with my like big lion, just, I love lions in general. It's funny you mentioned that. I'm not sure if Phoenix was like, I might be misspeaking, Nitro. There is also a clone Madeline Pryor, right? But Madeline Pryor was Mr. Sinister who created. And I think that Madeline Pryor only became conscious once, when Jean, the real Jean, came back, and it wasn't just Phoenix, she didn't want to integrate all the shadow side of herself, right? Because part of the Dark Phoenix saga is that Phoenix becomes corrupted. I forget why or how, but Phoenix becomes corrupted and she becomes dark, and she actually ends up like consuming or destroying an entire planet and all of the inhabitants on that planet. And so that sin, that mistake, is something that follows Jean and the Phoenix throughout many storylines going forward, because it is still like a redemption arc. And this idea of we have to accept the fact that we have done maybe some pretty horrible things, and us being not integrating it causes more problems, right? So Jean's refusal to reintegrate her shadow or dark side causes Madeline Pryor to hold on to that energy. And she then, you can't really blame Madeline Pryor for a lot of things. She thinks she's Jean, right? So it's just like, I think Spider-Man did this too, where you have like a clone, and the clone, like, or like Arnold Schwarzenegger in The Sixth Day, like, you're the clone, but the clone's of course not going to think that they are. Like, just like how Kay in Blade Runner, or Rachel in Blade Runner, they do not think that they're androids, right? But then it gives that question of like, what does it mean to be human? What does it mean to be real? What does it mean to have a soul? What is the nature of all that, right? I don't have answers, right? I don't think we're supposed to have answers, right? I don't think that this life is best spent pondering maybe unanswerable questions. I think that it's okay to think about it. It's fun to have, stoned conversations with each other and like, riff back and forth, because that's how we make really cool art. But for us to get so, I think, nihilistic about the whole thing because of knowing too much, that can be a trap as well. So without further ado, my beautiful friends, welcome to the reading of Jean Grey and the Phoenix. Okay, so I'm going to preface this with a little bit of an intro just to get everybody up to speed. Let me make sure. I might move this a little closer. Okay. Oh, I didn't know there was a clone of MJ, Gwen Stacy. I have to look into that a bit. I'm also working on some content coming up with me doing movie magic so that Jean can talk to the Phoenix. Again, I can bring to life a little bit of that relationship. So Jean and the Phoenix have a very, very close relationship. Yes, Jean is her host, but it's also like Moon Knight being an avatar of a cosmic god being, because the gods cannot necessarily interact directly. So, the animated series, Gwen Stacy, we should revisit that. I'm gonna have some shows where we look at the animated stuff, but that's probably gonna be on Discord, because usually the copyright police come after me for certain things. Okay. Oh yes, Rachel Summers is also a host of the Phoenix, right? Because there's something really special about the connection between Jean Grey and Cyclops as well, right? So I do have to do a little live with Scott Summers as well. Okay, friends, let's go. The young alien Adani blames Phoenix. Wait, Adani? Okay, Adani is her name. The young alien Adani blames Phoenix for the death of her father. Her father's true killer is the dark god Pericus, granted Adani a sword with psychic abilities and the power needed to seek her revenge. Oh, thank you, Razor Wire Data. Oh, yes. Adam confronted Phoenix, rebuffing her offered assistance, but nonetheless experiencing a strange mental connection with Jean herself. So here, the differentiation between Jean and the Phoenix. So Adani is swearing revenge against Phoenix, probably because maybe she is descendant from, Dark Phoenix basically did a Krypton, right? Destroyed an entire planet, on the souls in that planet. So, it's just like, in, Kill Bill, Volume 1, where the bride goes to Vivica A. Fox's daughter, and after she kills her, spoiler alert, sorry, and she says, when you grow up and you still feel raw about it, I'll be waiting for you, right? Because every action has an equal and opposite reaction, right? And it can come way down the line sometimes. So, oh, razor wire, yeah, okay, consequences, right? And we, in our own lives, I think, where we sometimes try to run away from really, really awful mistakes we've done, eventually we do have to face them, right? The Phoenix is our god mama. That's right. Life and creation, destruction, rebirth, incarnate. That's a big cosmic energy to be working with, right? Polarity. Yes. Moony Beats. Hey. Oh, you guys, the gang's all here. My cosmic crew. All right. So this title is actually called Cosmic Ascent. I think very fitting for the reverb of solstice season that we're going through right now. Okay, so this young alien named Adani is blaming Phoenix for the death of her father. There's a true killer, right? But he's, of course, like framing the Phoenix for it. Jean has a telepathic connection with this girl in spite of it. Okay, so meanwhile, the Galactic Council, including Pericus, met to debate whether Phoenix is a danger to the galaxy. Pericus offered, how nice of you, to deal with Phoenix directly, but only if the leadership of the council passes to the mad titan, Thanos. Well, that's not gonna work. How does that make sense? Thanos want to try to wipe out. Anyways, you can see that's why there's Thanos here. So this is the Galactic Council. It's like Thanos versus Phoenix. Who do you have winning? All right. So the writer of this story is Stephanie Phillips. The color artist is David Curiel. Cover art, Yasmin Putari. Artist, Marco Renna, Alessandro Maracalo. So the look of this is usually not my style per se, not my favorite, but and look, it's so shiny versus a comic book. So this is considered a graphic novel. Longer. I forget what the definition. If it's longer than a certain thing, it's a graphic novel. It's a comic book of comic books. But it means we'll finish the whole story. When you have like the single episodes of comic books, sometimes we leave on a cliffhanger, you guys. Okay. Let me shift. So you can see both sides. And then I can, yeah. So our story begins with fire and ash, like the Avatar movie. I heard that oh my gosh, like, buddy, did you fall? Oh, sorry. All my stuffies. I'm a big stuffed animal person. Avatar, the Last Airbender. Well, I mean, I think Avatar, the Fire and Ash movie, like the latest one I don't know if it's meant to be a trilogy or whatnot, but I heard mixed reviews from it when I was overhearing people at the gym talking about it. So, all right, so our story begins with fire and ash. And soon, fire and ash consumed my soul. This is Adani talking. My every waking thought. This is not a time for despair. My family, the dark gods, have succeeded. So it doesn't have to be this way, says a voice from off the panel. Who do you think that is? It's our hero. Our heroine, Jean, right? Hello. I've grown to, I used to think I didn't like the green and gold outfit. Gosh, sorry, bud. Let's put you over here. There you go. Look at you. And even my dreams. You can change this, Adani. I can help you. So even though Adani is like sworn for revenge, she wants to kill the phoenix, Jean, as the phoenix, is still trying to endow a level of empathy, right? Of understanding. Wait, I need to read you guys the other part of the intro. I forgot to do that. Very important because it sets the stage as to where we are in Jean's relationship with the phoenix. So Jean Grey is an Omega level mutant, a telepath, a telekinetic, and one of the first X-Men, indeed. As the host of the cosmic entity known as the Phoenix Force, she once followed a path of destruction. But now Jean has embraced her role and reclaimed the power for her own, using it to defend the universe as the Phoenix. So she's learned to embrace the power of the Phoenix, right? I've read you a story too as well that where Jean says goodbye to the Phoenix. They have like almost like a breakup, so they can, as Jean puts it, she needs to live her life. She can't be resurrected all the time. Sometimes that once you've lived your cycle, right, you can move on to the next story as opposed to like constantly trying to like rehabilitate the old, which is why like, any living dead kind of situations is actually scary, right? Because it's our inability to let go of the past and things like that as well. Okay. And even my dreams, you can change this, Adani, and I can help you if you will let me. This was your choice, child. You've gotten everything you've wanted. You know the answer. It's inside you, says Jean. I can hear it. Just listen to your... And so she's got a psychic sword. She's about to attack Jean, and Jean's trying to appeal to her nature, right? Saying like, you don't actually want to do this. You can have a choice not to propagate this cycle of revenge, right? And instead, she attacks her with the sword. And then she wakes up from a dream. So she's imagining herself exacting her revenge. Jean's probably talking to her through these dreams, right? So she wakes up in like a sweat, being like, oh, what was that? It wasn't real. Hey, Daddy Money Man. Oh, yes. Oh, no, Jean is of a high level. Gwen Stacy, I don't think you got to worry about that. Although, now that you're dealing with being a cosmic entity, you now have cosmic level threats to deal with and stuff like that, right? So, Dandy Money Man, hey, birthday twin, how's it going? Welcome to my read of the Phoenix as Jean. Welcome to my read of the Phoenix as Jean. You guys ever have had that feeling, where you have this concept of like eyes in the back of your head, this idea of like, oh, I can feel when someone's observing me or watching me. I had faced the Phoenix, and I had failed. Even worse than that, Jean Grey entered my mind. She is an Omega level telepath and telekinetic, person. So she said she was creating a psychic barrier to protect my mind from the voices of everyone across the galaxy in need of help at that very moment. Millions of them, oh my gosh, crazy, People are trying to battle with me right now, and I'm not going to battle on this live because I'm reading you guys this story. Moody Beats also too, like time is kind of crazy these days too. And my dad has the worst internet ever. Terrible upload speed. So bear with me with these lives. I would have been doing much more, but like I've had to deal with like internet stuffs. When I finally have the studio, we'll upgrade all of the things. So hopefully this goes through as well as it needs to. Also, too, Moody Beats, it's really funny. TikTok likes to act up when I'm delivering certain messages. I don't know. Could be a conspiracy theory. That's just a theory. A film theory. That kind of thing. Okay. So this is the alien girl I'm talking about who, well, that was prefaced earlier. Awesome, Moody Beats. I really, really like your name too. I went down a rabbit hole today on Vedic astrology, which is different than Western astrology. And it talks about how like your moon sign is much more important to you. And so I'm a Gemini moon. So I welcome you guys, know thyself, all those cosmic things that are about you. Like me and Danny Moneyman, we share a B day, right? So our sun sign is the same, but just because you have the same sun sign as others, you have all this other stuff going on too underneath, under the surface, right? And maybe some of you are potential Phoenix hosts, because the Phoenix can't just be hosted by anybody. It has to be the right fit. And that can go for a lot of things too, right? So she said that she was creating a psychic barrier to protect my mind from the voices of everyone across the galaxy in need of help at that very moment. Millions of them crying out in pain. I never needed to ask. So she's looking at her mirror and like having an interior monologue, right? That's the beauty of like books and stuff, right? You can literally get to see inside these characters' minds. You can actually know what their motivations are. It's really great. It's why also too, when you read certain stories, when you have like, let's say, an unreliable narrator, whatever that means, because it's from whose perspective the story is being told, that is got a whole other meaning to it as well, to be considered. So looking at the mirror, inside the mirror, Adani thinks to herself, I knew those were the very same voices that haunted Jean. What did you do to me? No. Listen to her, please, to the Phoenix. So Adani's looking basically at her childhood self in the mirror. Oh my gosh, I've done this before, where you look at yourself in the mirror and you like are talking to your younger self. And her younger self says to her, listen to her, please listen to the Phoenix. I am still here. You can still be helped. And in response, she punches the mirror, not wanting to hear it. Get out of my mind. And so we flash to a different scene now. I don't know if that's a planet or a portal. Hard to tell. What are your orders, Corvius Glaive, sir? Tell the fleet to prepare weapons and deet. Unidentified object just appeared on the radar, moving towards us, fast. Even better. I hate reading the evil guy panels, but they're necessary. Even when I write my own stories, it's hard to write villain stuff, right? And it's so creepy too. He's creepy, right? Even better. Tell the fleet to prepare all the weapons. Now you're gonna need it to go up against me, baby. And fire on the Phoenix. Don't worry, Gwen Stacy, we got this. It's gonna take more than that to take the Phoenix down. If Jean hadn't fought Gore, the God Butcher, when he called to her, if she hadn't freed the souls of the imprisoned Asgardians, or faced off against the Black Order, or listened to the rogue pirate Corsair. If Jean Grey had never prevented a black hole from collapsing, if she had never left Earth, Thanos, why do I say his name like that? Thanos. Thanos would not have gained control of the Galactic Council. Oh, the Multiverse Ranger. Oh my gosh. Funny seeing you here. Welcome to me, Jean Grey, classic Jean Grey. I'm reading you guys about Phoenix, right? So this is a point in Phoenix's, or rather Jean Grey's relationship in the Phoenix, where she's learned to harness that power and use it to protect the universe, right? And hey, my gosh, Raymond Waltons. Oh, hey, hi. Oh, it's crazy because my maiden last name is Walton, so just that's fun. And Multiverse Ranger, I had to just say again, welcome to the team, welcome to the Cosmic Comic Book Club. Aw, thank you. I was gonna, I'm also actually working on a legit Psy shield. She's actually wearing one here as well, right? And it does two things, you guys. I think we need to start building some of this psychic tech, because it can both enhance the psychic abilities. Also, if any of you guys are any of those like sensitives, you're very empathic, it can be a lot sometimes to feel like I can't go into big crowds anymore without like my crystals and protection because I can feel everybody. I don't know how to describe it other than like I can hear all the words you don't say, right? And for better or for worse, right? And sometimes you need to turn it off, and that is something that only comes with practice, but also acknowledgement of the fact that perhaps you have a special ability, right? Yes, a lot of people, I think if you're an empath or an empathetic person, very compassionate, you feel like those things, all the unsaid, unseen stuff, yeah, you'd probably relate to that. And that's why I think having things like shielding is useful, right? And it can also be used so that you can take it and then maybe hone your psychic abilities to focus it, right? So I'm Gucci Rocker. Thank you for the you're awesome. I prefer being a vigilante as part of my OC Power Ranger. Did you like, were you like a Green Ranger fan? I really loved, so Power Rangers was a big part of my life growing up. We used to play it on the playground all the time. Rest in power, Trini. And rest in power, Green Ranger, right? So it's, how should I put this? For those who know that there's so much more to our reality, this forced way of how we do things right now can be really hard. So I love all you renegades and rebels out there. We need to, you need to break things to let the light in, right? You crack it open so that we can get it. Yeah. All right, guys. So the Phoenix, that they're firing on the Phoenix right now, right? Thanks, Gwen Stacy. I've worked on it, right? You have to just do your best when it comes to it. And only you know what your best is, because your best will be good enough. Okay. Thanos would not have gained control of the Galactic Council. Now, Nova. Nova's pretty cool. Now, Nova. 10-4, Firebird. Let's do this. He would not have used every available resource to immediately begin subjugating inhabited planets. So it's like this girl, Adani, is blaming Jean/Phoenix for the reason why Thanos is now in control of the Galactic Council. But as we all know, you can't undo the past. Something is attacking the fleet from behind. Concentrate on the Phoenix. Do not get distracted. The Black Order will have its revenge. Oh, me too. Thank you. I love X-Men. X-Men are I have a lot of memories locked up in that 90s show on Saturday mornings that I used to watch, right? I loved Storm. And you know what? Jean Grey used to annoy the crap out of me. And so I've learned that all the stuff that used to annoy me about Jean are all the things I just need to integrate about myself. So fun, kind of funny, right? Thank you, the Multiverse Ranger. Excuse me, Mama. Good thing that Luna is sleeping, Mama. All right. So I love Nova. Are you guys familiar with Nova? Nova is pretty cool, actually. Cool helmet. I might have to work on a cosplay for that. It says here, concentrate on the Phoenix. Do not get distracted. The Black Order will have its revenge. And then Phoenix says, did you just call me Firebird? It's a code name. Code names, oh, wait. It's Nova who called Jean Grey Firebird. He's like 10-4 Firebird. Let's do this. Did you just call me Firebird? It's a code name, Jean. Code names helped a ton while I was out patrolling the Omega systems. Isn't Phoenix my code name? That's too obvious. Besides, don't take the fun out of incapacitating the entire galactic armada for me. This is definitely going on my resume. Oh, that's fun. Nova and Phoenix team up to just take out this whole Black Order that they got nothing. That's right, Gwen Stacy. That's Nova's like. So he was trying to make a joke here with G. He's like, I called you Firebird. And she's like, did you call me Firebird? He's like, it's a code name. She's like, isn't Phoenix my code name? But it's like Jean Grey, right? Like Storm, Cyclops, Beast. Jean Grey didn't have a code name till she became Phoenix, right? Oh, Leela. Thanks for that, girl. Okay. Systems offline, sir. So those evil, creepy guys looks like didn't really work. Weapons, propulsions, nothing is responding because the Phoenix got you. He's not here. No, at least I don't think Thanos is here. Why are you calling him Thanos like that? Oh, no, I'm going to go with it. I don't think Thanos is here, but I still can't sense him anywhere. And so you see Nova, I guess because she's now like a galactic defender now, right? So her and Nova are working together. It's kind of fun. Nova says, I don't know your powers. I didn't know that your powers had any sort of limitation. And then she says back, I should be able to find Pericus and Thanos. It's like they don't exist. Enlightenment goes, House of M I actually haven't seen. I've only had friends who love the show and Scarlet Witch tell me synopsis stuff of it, but I'm reading you guys The Phoenix. Same Marvel universe though. And remember Scarlet Witch has she's very powerful too, right? Scarlet Witch is actually, she ends up causing, you know, all the mutants like to be wiped out because of that's how powerful your intentions can be, right? Oh yes. Let's see here. Bread question, sourdough or dildo? I love sourdough bread, you guys. Thanks for that. Colin, welcome you guys. Welcome to the late night comic book read. I'm Jean Grey, one of your original classic X-Men. We are going into the future, past, wherever we are, and we're reading Phoenix, right? So Phoenix, if you're not familiar, is a cosmic entity of life and death. She's got multiple hosts, such as Jean Grey, Rachel Summers, Luna, Gwen Stacy, but also Jean Grey is intrinsically linked to the Phoenix. So welcome to the read. I hope you guys enjoy. Is she you? Yes, a version of me. And that's, I think, the beauty of the multiverse and comics. They do a beautiful job of modeling the multifaceted way that reality works. Moony Beats, what a gift when I'm just, oh my gosh, I got full body tingles. I felt that all the way from here. Amazing. So, oh my gosh. I'm speechless at that. Thank you. Oh my goodness. Why did you break Cyclops' heart? I don't think I ever meant to, right? You know, it's just like versions of you will forever love versions of that other person. And, you know, I really relate to that with Jean too, because I had a high school boyfriend, not high school boyfriend, my university boyfriend. And we were very, very in love. And he loved me a lot. And I think I did break his heart. And I almost did it. I did it on purpose in a weird way to protect him because I didn't think I was a very good, I thought he deserved better than me. It was a weird way of how I rationalize things and how we rationalize love. And sometimes we almost distance ourselves as a way to protect others, right? Because, yeah, it's more complicated than we think, right? And there was a thing I was watching about X-Men 97 about how Jean Grey, they kind of made her like, they did like an MJ thing with her where, you know, she cheats herself, right? Let's say like she tries to kiss Logan or Wolverine or these other things that happen, right? But when Cyclops does it with Madeline Pryor, who's literally a clone of her, like he thought she was Jean, right? And Jean was dead, so he's grieving. So it's, I can understand how that would happen, right? And so he did cheat on her with Emma Frost too. That's another thing. And I've had multiple storylines where Emma and Jean not reconcile, but I think they come to an understanding of each other, right? Like I think Emma says to Jean Grey that your nightmare is my love story. Crazy thing, right? So from different perspectives, where are we, right? I love Storm. Of course I love Storm. Storm is like a goddess. And I'm half South African too. I'm Filipino and South African. So when I was growing up, Storm was like my favorite. But Storm, that cosplay needs to be done right. There's versions of her that I don't necessarily like as much. I want to do a classic Storm from like the 90s TV show where she's in all white. And she's got the eyes. And so to be able to do that, I need to do that justice before I can cosplay as her. So, and I need to find a good story to read you guys, mainly about Storm too as well. And her and Black Panther, like OG, amazing couple. We need to do more stuff on them. Okay, continuing onward. There's also a story I forgot to tell you guys. Emma Frost and Jean Grey work together to save Storm because that's how much she means to both of them. Sorry. Okay. Dark Phoenix is one of my favorite stories too. It also came out in the 80s when Crisis happened. So if we think about the grand waves of how things go in our own cosmic reality, there was something that happened then, which is now, there's echoes now, even in the stories that we have right now. And Jesse Nelson, did you like how any of the live actions did the Dark Phoenix saga? Just a question. Thoughts on it? It's hard to do live action certain storylines like this though, right? Okay, where are we? This one we could do live action, that'd be fun. So Jean Grey basically is saying here, like Nova is saying like, oh, you have limitations to your psychic abilities, and Phoenix is like, okay, well, no, but they're doing something like they're probably psychically shielding, or perhaps they're in a reality where she can't telepathically tell where they are. And then you see this shot of Thanos looking all badass from up here going, or something is blocking my abilities. You seem pleased, Thanos. is this how you imagined your reign? And Thanos says, nearly. Let's see. Nope. Yeah, live action. There's still hope, though, you know. Like, it could still be done right. I didn't imagine sharing the victory with you, Pericus. Although I now admit the alliance that you proposed has proven valuable. One thing about bad guys, though, right? Typically, their alliances are usually pretty shady. So if there's anything you can count on with like shady bad guys, is that hopefully they just turn against each other too. So that evil dark god guy, he's the one who actually killed Adani's father and then blamed it on the Phoenix. And now she's got this revenge vendetta against Jean and the Phoenix, when really it should be against Pericus, who's working with Thanos to put Thanos as the head of the Galactic Council, which has now happened as a result. So Thanos was like, okay, my reign's pretty good, but I imagine doing this by myself, not with any help. But he's grudgingly admitting that their allegiance has proved to be valuable. So, especially since it comes with the Warlock's eye, please know I have a family. The government, they opposed you, not me. Allow me. Every choice you make has a consequence. You could spare the life of this pathetic being who defied you, defied us. His people could have chosen to surrender, but instead, they chose violence. You mean they decided to fight back and not be like just taken over, right? That's what you mean? Interesting way of putting it, Thanos. That was their choice. And this is their consequence. And now you get to choose. Follow orders or face the consequences. Shriek. And you can see it's like Thanos' face looking all pleased. Like, well, guess we're just gonna kill you then. Because that's the way Thanos works. Was that you? Or the Warlock's eye? I provided him with the logical reasoning he needed to make the appropriate choice, which he would have done without the increased psychic abilities of the Warlock's eye. So the Warlock's eye, I don't know where they got this relic from, but that is likely what is blocking Jean's telepathic abilities of being able to locate them. So, which we would have done without the increased psychic abilities of the Warlock's eye. The eye just sped things along, enhanced his understanding of the situation. You're very manipulative, Thanos. And the Phoenix, you're still unable to locate her with the eye. She seems protected from its ability, just as the eye is protecting us from her. And this is a common, if you're someone who's like a remote viewer, or you have those abilities where you like dream travel or you can view other worlds, typically if you can see them, they can see you. So the eye is doing double duty here. It's both blocking the Jean from finding them, but they can also not find her. So it goes both ways. Where are we? I am not a personal remote viewer, but I know a few. And those of you who perhaps are remote viewers, but you don't, I don't really like the word remote viewer. I like a dream traveler, astral viewer, something like that. But the rule's still the same. If you can see them, they can see you. Okay. Corvus, you should be with the Armada. It was the Phoenix. She attacked us. She didn't attack you. You guys shot first. It was the Phoenix. She attacked us with the help of Nova. Nova? She has an ally now. Good. Oh, they want her to have an ally? That's a little weird. So now we're going to flash back. You lied to her. Yeah. Consequences, right? Let me shift this way just so I can read this little shadow on that. Tilt this towards me this way. Oh. Sorry. Okay, we're back. We can get everyone, the Avengers, X-Men. We can't just let Thanos take over the entire galaxy. Well, I didn't just let them, Scott. No, of course not, Jean. That is not what I meant. Jean getting all offended. He's like, we can't just let Thanos take over the universe. And Jean's like, I didn't let him, Scott. And Scott says, like, no. That's not what I meant. By the time any of you got here, it would have been too late. I shouldn't have come, Scott. I should have stayed at home with you. As much as I would love for you to be here with me, you are now where you need to be. Aw, Scott, I feel like you've grown up a lot. You know how special Jean is. Yeah, to the greater universe. But she's like, I'd rather just be home with you, babe. I get it. What if I'm not? People were already afraid of the Phoenix, but now it's hatred. No one hates you, Jean, says Scott. I beg to differ. It's well-behaved women rarely make history, to quote Marilyn Monroe. No one hates you, Jean. They just don't understand. No, Scott, it's hatred. I can feel it. Some of it is natural. Some of it feels planted. Like Thanos has found a way to make everyone feel exactly the way that he wants them to. He's using that warlock eye. But it is hatred and it is deep. Thank you for the follow. I am sweet. I had to go to the edges of the universe to find a planet Thanos hasn't touched yet, just to breathe for a moment, to try and recoup with Rich. With Rich? Yeah, try to regroup with Rich and wait for the others to... Rich Rider. Oh, that's his name. So Nova's real name is Rich Rider. And now she's like, I had to team up with Rich. And Cyclops is like, who's this Rich guy? And he says, can you trust him? Oh, Master Sith, hi. Thank you for the donut. How's it going, my friend? Master Sith, fun fact. Darth Maul is one of my sister's favorite characters in Star Wars. And he is pretty badass. So, I don't know. There's a synergy there for some reason. Thank you for that again, my friend. Rich Rider, Nova. Can you trust him? Thanos has managed to turn the entire galaxy against me. I have very limited options here, Scott. I have to trust. So in the middle of this, she seems like she's attacked. Nova? Oh no. What? See, look at this. Just as Scott's like, can you trust him? Now it looks like he's attacking her. Nova? What was that? I think Thanos has found a way to track me. Oh yeah, remember what I was saying, how the Warlock's eye is blocking Jean from being viewed by them and vice versa. But now that they know that Nova is her ally, they can use Nova to get to her, right? Nova? What was that? Dun, dun, dun. And someone's flying at her. I think Thanos has found a way to track me. I'll call you back. Hold on. I gotta deal with something. Thanks, Ryan. I'm imagining Jean ready her book to us. Yeah, exactly. Bedtime stories of past adventures, right? Think about it when, you know, growing old together as mutants, right? You have the next generation of mutants coming up and just sharing stories of like past missions around the galaxy. And she's like, come on, Rich. And then he fires right past her. And then she comes and punches him in the face. I'm going to show you this panel. It's pretty cool. So he's coming at her, misses, turns around, and she smacks him, right? I wish it was all real. Then maybe it can be, right? It just takes a couple people's consciousness to make certain things a reality, right? Reality is far more malleable than the powers that aren't would like us to believe. So thank you guys for being here and bringing your energy to this and to story time, right? Because those who tell the stories rule the world. So I welcome all of you guys to be the authors of your grand own cosmic comic book, which stars you on the cover, right? All right. And so she punches Nova in the face. And so he's like on the ground, like rubbing his sore jaw. He's like, oh, Jean, what was that for? And she's like, you attacked me. So she knocks him down, which snaps him out of, I guess, the mind control that warlock's eye is doing on him. And then she helps him up. He's like, I wouldn't attack you. He's like, what? No, I wouldn't. And she says to him, I haven't been able to sense Thanos anywhere in the galaxy. The feeling I can sense is universal hatred directed at me. Wow, that must suck, Jean. That does suck. He's making everyone dislike you. Well, even more than dislike. Hatred is a very strong emotion. Now, Thanos has found a way into your mind. So she's like explaining this to him. Something is giving him augmented psychic abilities. Oh, it's augmented psychic abilities. And Nova's like still rubbing his sore jaw, saying like, oh, do you mean like magic? And Jean says, well, it could be any number of things. This will make our mission harder, but it changes nothing. We are going to attack Thanos. I keep calling him Thanos. Break his control of the Galactic Council and restore order to the galaxy. How are we supposed to stop an armada armies a big purple troll who now has unlimited psychic potential and a dark god, says Nova. Well, for starters, you get help, baby. The storyteller, do I do Audible? Not yet. I have been told I should narrate or read stories like recording-wise, like that wise. So maybe I will in 2026, but as of now, no. I've only recently like come back into myself and I think gotten my own voice back. And the storyteller, what a fabulous name. Thank you for joining and following too. So Nova's like, okay, so we have to fight armadas, an army, Thanos, a dark god with psychic abilities. Whoa, how are we supposed to handle that, Jean? And she's like, I get by with a little help from my friends. So let's see who the backup is. We have Captain Marvel, leader of the Avengers. We have, who is this? Sif, Asgardian warrior. Rocket Raccoon. You're looking really tall, Rocket. Likes explosives, not a raccoon. So Captain Marvel says, you gotta have your one-liner. When you make a guest appearance in someone else's comic book, you have to have your like intro line when you enter the stage, right? So Captain Marvel says, you are not going to be doing all of that alone. And Sif says, for what Pericus has done to Asgard, I am honored to join your fight, Jean. Aw, and look at how the writing is for them. Anyone who's Asgardian has like fairy writing. It looks like god writing, I suppose. And then Rocket Raccoon says, Armada's armies, gods, and Thanos sounds like a regular Thursday for me. And Jean says, oh, you all got my call. The universe just got a whole lot more dangerous for Thanos. Yeah, baby. That's a cool team. Ah, give me this movie, right? With, I don't even know this girl and she looks cool, right? I mean, Asgardian warriors, Valkyries. I love Valkyries too. Pretty good. It's pretty good. So, and Freya is one of my favorite goddesses. She's the Norse version of the goddesses of love and beauty. Remember, in goddesses and gods, there's usually equivalencies when it comes to that energy, right? So when you think of goddesses of love and beauty, you've got Aphrodite, Freya, Hathor, Venus, Isis, oh my gosh, Inanna. There's a few of them. Mayari from the Philippines. There's a few goddesses out there. So the goddesses of many names, right? Let's not get caught up in what we call things, right? To quote Shakespeare, a name, a rose by any other name would smell just as sweet. And so when it comes to the phoenix, we're talking about just a name to represent a more cosmic, galactic entity. And that's what I love about comic books, this idea of handling themes of like that magnitude. And it's fun too, right? Hey, Oliver, how's it going? I had Captain Marvel. Harley, I love that name. I love that name. Harley is also, I know, I like that name for some reason. It's nice. You're good with names, Gwen Stacy. I've learned a lot from you with that, creativity-wise. So look at this panel. How cool she looks. Badass Phoenix. Okay. I'm going to go for another few panels and then I'm going to wrap it for tonight. I'm going to conclude this later. I have a custom cosplay of Dark Phoenix. I'll read some of this, and I'm working on a cosplay of this Phoenix, the green and gold. So yes, I do play Rivals. You know the character I'm best at in Rivals? Cloak and Dagger. I try, and Storm. I'm pretty good with Storm on Rivals. I'm not very good though. I typically play first-person shooters like Halo, Call of Duty, Borderlands. So it takes a little while for me to adjust to more like the third-person view, as much as I like the view a bit more, right? You get to see like the booty and all. Like Sue Storm is like fun to play, if not just for like the eye candy, right? All right. So we're now in deep space, my friends. It's called the Warlock's Eye. And so we get to introduce, like, one thing I like about these newer comic books, they like to give you context. So they try to reintroduce you to the characters so you know, because the X-Men, if you think of the whole stable, that's not the right word, roster, that's the word. If you think about the whole roster of X-Men and Avengers, there's a whole cast of characters. So every story doesn't necessarily include every character. So I always enjoy the matchups of different characters with different skill sets. It's always fun. All right. So deep space. It's called the Warlock's Eye. So you've got Jean Grey, aka the Phoenix, Carol Danvers, aka Captain Marvel, Rich Rider, aka Nova, Sif, and Rocket Raccoon. A weapon that grants the wielder powerful mind control abilities. It was under Asgardian protection until recently. I swore not to leave my post at the Bifrost? I don't know what Bifrost is. That sounds cold. I swore not to leave my post at the Bifrost, but if Thanos is using the Warlock's Eye to solidify his control of the galaxy, he's even more dangerous than normal. Oh, yes. Yeah, story time, Joski. Yes. Hopefully you get to fall asleep, have some fun, magical dreams, some fantastical dreams because of this. I'm giving you like fuel for your astral travel, put it that way. So the Warlock's Eye, which is what Thanos is using to give himself augmented psychic abilities, to quote myself, Jean, he's more dangerous than usual. And he stole that Warlock's Eye from Asgard. So there is some magic involved here, right? Bifrost is the rainbow bridge. Is that what it's called specifically? Thank you, Adala. Thank you for that. How did I not know that? Also, I love that rainbow bridge in Asgard, right? So am I saying that truth right though? I'm trying to think. Is it Bifrost or Bifrost? Oh my goodness. I'm gonna have to revisit some of the Thor stuff. And you know what? Hot take. I really liked Love and Thunder with Jane Foster as Thor, and that concept of like holding the mantle, like holding the hammer and being worthy of it, all that kind of good stuff. Bifrost. Oh, perfect. Thank you, Adela. And thank you for confirming that. So Sif, she is a guardian of the Rainbow Bridge. And, you know, the concept of the portals, the passageways, the gateways between worlds usually require guardians. Just saying. It's a very important role to all of you out there who are called to play that role. And then we're going to do the last page, you guys, and then I'm going to call it a night for tonight. Please, I just need a break. Jean, I'm sorry. So like it looks like Nova's getting a little bit of a headache. Now remember, earlier, a couple panels back, Nova attacked Jean and he didn't really have any memory of it. So they're using the Warlock's Eye. So it's likely they still have some sort of hold on him because she just punched him in the face and it brought him back. So please, I just need a break, Jean. I'm sorry. Rocket Raccoon's like, a break? You need a break? We all need a break. The entire bleeping universe is being mind controlled by Thanos, and you want to hold the key, and you might hold the key to finding him. Nova, but you need a break? And Nova says back, I had Thanos in my mind, and now Jean is digging around in there, so don't start with me, rabbit. Rocket, he's like, I'm not a raccoon, so he calls him a rabbit. Oh, I've never heard the jokes about earth mammals before. Real original, space boy. And Jean gets in between Rocket and Nova. I love Rocket, by the way. Enough, says Jean, breaking it up. Okay, guys, okay, enough. I asked each of you to be a part of this mission for a very good reason. Rocket, we need your technical expertise. Thanos might be communicating telepathically, but his generals, the Black Order, are not. Nova, you have more knowledge of the cosmos than anyone I have ever met. So, Sif, we need your understanding of Asgardian history and your sword in equal measure. And Carol Danvers, beyond your incredible powers. So Jean picked this team herself to deal with Thanos. So she picked this specific team and brought them all together, and she telepathically reached out to them. So I feel like there's something there in this too. So if you hear me, if you hear what I'm really saying to you in terms of like the universe is counting on you and the universe needs you, this is kind of a simple thing. We need your unique skill set to help with saving the universe. And the way Nova puts it here is like, oh, I think Jean Grey is trying to protect the fabric of reality again. That kind of thing. No big deal, you know. Jean says to Carol, "You are the best tactician that I have ever met." And Carol says back to her, "I am going to quote you on that, just FYI, Jean. But as much as I love the flattery, you're in charge of this mission, Jean. You brought us together, and you are our best chance of locating Thanos. Right now, I'm not sensing any remnants of Thanos in Nova's mind, which means the Warlock's eye is covering its tracks, or his tracks. So remember that Warlock's eye is giving them almost like a cloak against Jean's ability to find them telepathically. We'll need a different way in order to locate the Mad Titan." "How can the Warlock's eye block the most powerful psychic in the universe?" asks Captain Marvel. "Well, the eye was created by magics older than Asgard itself." That's pretty powerful magic. "As far as we know, its limit hasn't been reached, if it has one. And we can't get to the eye unless we find Thanos." Quite the catch-22, my girlfriends. There's one more option. Someone who might be able to tell us where Thanos is. "Who's that?" "Her name is Adani." And look at that big ass sword she's got. And she kind of wants to kill me. Because she does, you know. But remember, Thanos has been breeding hatred for the Phoenix all across the cosmos, right? "We've been forming a psychic link in our dreams." Yeah, look at that beautiful sword, big ass sword. I wish I could do this in Spanish. I know very limited French, but unfortunately, I missed my chance to learn other languages because apparently you have like a sweet spot in your learning that you're able to learn other languages. But you know what? I welcome anyone out there who does know Spanish. Maybe we could work together on making translations, you know? "We've been forming a psychic link in our dreams." "Can you hear me, Adani?" "What?" "I know you've sensed me at the edges of your mind." "Oh, Phoenix." Oh, hey, Red Heron. Thank you for the heart me. I've been watching your lives, I think. Yes. But thank you for the heart me. Appreciate it. I'm reading the Phoenix. I'm just finishing off tonight's read, but we will come back and complete this. I'll probably change it to Phoenix for it. That'd be kind of fun to like start the read as like Jean. I think so. Have you been painting? Yes, right? I hope so. Okay, I get confused sometimes when my internet's been bad. So yes, okay, wonderful. I have been watching your live. So I've been creeping. Hopefully I might be able to petition you to like do some painting. Any artists out there, I'm working on my own comic book. I'm going to be funding it on Fund My Comic. If you guys aren't familiar with that website, go check it out. They've got a whole bunch of like indie comics and stuff that's like all like self-funded. So it's like Indiegogo, but specifically for comic books. Where was I going with this? I'm doing an Indiegogo campaign for my movie. That's going to be the spiritual successor to Escape from LA and Escape from New York by John Carpenter. I am working on getting John Carpenter to do a voiceover for me. Let's put that out in the universe, right? I love John Carpenter. He actually filmed a lot of, I don't know if you guys have seen the movie Mouth of Madness or Into the Mouth of Madness with Sam Neill in it. And that was filmed a lot in Toronto. And there's a lot of like strange stuff about that, about how like the demons and madness can enter the world through a book and different stories. So if you can seed hell realms that way, couldn't you also seed paradise and, a golden age the same kind of way, right? So yeah. All right, guys, let's continue onwards. And boop to you, Gwen Stacy. We're gonna do, let's see. I'm gonna end here. All right, so we're gonna do a couple more pages. Thank you guys for joining. Okay. Can you hear me, Adani? What? I know you've sensed me at the edges of your mind, Phoenix. When I helped you block out the voices and protect your mind, something inside of us remained connected, then disconnected. You are the one who's holding on to it, Adani. Interesting. You're holding on because a part of you wants to trust me, a part of you that craves the childhood that was stolen from you. I can help you sever our connection, Adani, if that's what you would like. But first, I miss my dog son too, Gwen Stacy. Wolfie misses me too. We've been doing video calls, so Gwen Stacy, and I did tell him that you say hi. So my Wolfie is my doggo, if you guys aren't familiar. He cosplays with me sometimes, so, he'd be a fun rocket raccoon. I need you to see me, to see the little girl who experienced death as her friend died in her arms. Because if you aren't familiar with Jean's origin story, she wakes up to her psychic abilities when her best friend dies, and she is telepathically linked to her as she passes. So that's a pretty extreme and painful way to wake up to your powers, right? Jean Grey herself. I'm Jean Grey right now, right? Classic Jean Grey before the whole interaction with the Phoenix. But this is a story about Phoenix, about Jean, at the other end of it, right? Where she's now learned to accept the mantle of holding the Phoenix and is now using that power in order to protect the greater galaxy on a wider scale, right? I need you to see me, to see the little girl who experienced death as her friend died in her arms and withdrew from the world as a result, locking herself in her own mind to avoid pain and suffering. I can relate to this on a very deep level, right? Whenever you've gone any trauma, any pain I've also lost a few friends before their time, and I know exactly how this feels to lock yourself into a dark corner of your mind and just so you can disassociate and not feel the pain quite so intensely. Thanks for the follow, Cuddle Bear. And so you can see here Professor X and her telepathically connecting, because when Jean first joins the School of Gifted Youngsters with Professor Xavier, he actually puts a block on some of her mental, her psychic abilities, just so she's a child, right? So she has to grow into it to be able to learn how to wield it, how to control it. Hi, Chill Robert, how are you? Okay. And withdrew from the world as a result, locking herself in her own mind in order to avoid pain and suffering. But pain is unavoidable, indeed. Perhaps pain is a natural part of being alive. I fell in love. I experienced the true connection of being part of a team. Something bigger than myself. And I chose to protect that team, even if it would cost me my life. And she's talking about the origin of when she first connected with Phoenix. She fell in love, and she fell in love with her team too, right? And I agree with Jean on that. I'm with her with that. With my friends, I would do anything to protect them. I'll do anything to protect you. Okay? You know? Yeah, I can say that full stop. For those that I love, I really don't have any I can figure it out. I will do it. I will find a way. I will find a way. Even if it takes me forever, I will come get you. I will not leave you behind. Okay? And I chose to protect that team even if it cost me my life. That choice gave birth to the dark phoenix. Red Heron, thank you for the roses, my friend. To all you fellow X-Men who resonate with that, oh my gosh, I'm like full body tingling right now. That choice gave birth to the dark phoenix, a malevolent force that I lost control to. A choice that caused so much pain, so much suffering. Man, everything I am, all that I know, and all that I feel, I need you to understand me. Jean Grey, the Phoenix, a woman of limitless power and immeasurable pain. I am not a hero. Oh, you shouldn't have to be. But you are our last option for finding Thanos. You only need to tell me where. I can't tell you. And Jean says, all right, I understand. Thank you, Adani. And she gasps. I love that. She looks awesome here. Well, did this kid turned sword-wielding adult tell you where we can find Thanos? No, she couldn't tell me. Oh, great, says Rocket. So it didn't work. Oh, it did work. She couldn't tell me, so she showed me instead. I know where we're going, and I have a plan. And that's where we're going to leave tonight's read, my friends, of the Phoenix as Jean Grey. So I hope you enjoyed that. That was a lot of fun. I just bought this graphic novel today from Indigo bookstores because I love bookstores and libraries and all that kind of stuff. Cuddle Bear, the saddest X-Men is Forget Me Not. Aww. Memory is one of those things, right? What an interesting thing. So, what message do I want to leave you guys in terms of that? Cosmic entities, right? There's a quote from the movie Troy. Oh, Mooney Beats, thank you. You guys are really, really sweet. Thanks, Red Heron. Of course, I'll keep Luna safe, right? And I don't know how else to... I have to tell you guys this, though, too, as well. Like that, I really, really do think that 2026 is going to be a really, really special year. There is so much cosmic alignment. It is crazy. So I want you guys, we'll actually do whatever you want. That's really what I want you guys to do. But, let yourself believe in things that are not real. Let your imagination run wild for a bit, let yourself be weird or, oh, I don't get it, or just there's so much needed from us at an individual level to just fully express and experience everything, right? And just how Jean says here too, people think it's so great. You have so much power, right? You can create like all this kind of stuff, but those who walk certain paths have done so because you have walked through the fire, right? You've walked through pain, you've gone through the dark night of the soul, maybe multiple times and through multiple lifetimes, but there is a reckoning at hand, my friends. The universe has a wicked sense of humor, and it has a funny way of having it all work out. But it's not for nothing. You can't like just sit there and like let it all happen, right? So in spite of the pain, in spite of the hurt, in spite of all the reasons why you should just give up and forget about it, I'm asking you to dig in deep and, trust that it will all work out. It's always darkest before the dawn. Okay? So with that, my friends, oh, Voice of Wine, Cable, hey! Oh, you like came just in time. I was just saying goodbye to everybody, but I am finally getting all my ish together, right? So I do have an RPG game that I'm working on. It's kind of based on the Dungeons and Dragons mechanics. So more to come on that. And also, I will do the conclusion of this as Phoenix, and I'm working on this cosplay, so I'll probably reveal that when it's ready. But other stuff coming up this week, we're going to have a Christmas special with the other Supergirl cosplayers. I'm working on something special with that. So myself and a few other Supergirl cosplayers, we're going to get together and do a little bit of a Christmas Eve special. So, wait for that. And if you guys have an X-Men cosplay, please DM me, because I would love to do, to me, my X-Men, right? So I would love to view a lot of that, right? So bringing that all together. Even if you have like a custom X-Men character too, I think there's room for that as well, right? Because when you're a creator to my other creator beings, it's like a butterfly, right? You set that butterfly free, and if it returns, it was always meant to be, right? And love is not ownership or possession, it's freedom. So welcome. All right, guys. Gwen Stacy, I'm so happy I met you too. Because I tell you, I half the time with my own characters in my books, I've named them after people in my life because I was just bad at making names. And yeah. All right, guys. Thank you for joining me. Remember, it takes true courage for you to be exactly you in this cosmic game of life. So please do play as exactly you, because the universe is counting on you. But no worries, I have your back. And you know what? Having an Omega level mutant, master telepath, and ultimately life incarnate in your corner, people better not play, right? So, all right, guys, have a beautiful night. And I'll catch you in Dreamland. Bye.